Hi, and welcome to the Linnie Lady. My name's Erica, and this is Fairy. And today we're going to take you with us on a little bit of our training journey. So Fairy is very young. She was born at the end of April. And so when you have a bird that is this young, you want to do really short training stints. And the first thing that you're going to want to do is get a tea stand. And for the first week, you put it around in their environment, and then you sit your bird on the tea stand and you give them their favorite treats. For Fairy, that's corn or millet. And so I slowly acclimated her with the tea stand. Before you begin training, you want to choose a quiet room with minimal distractions. You want to have tiny, high-value treats ready and available. For Fairy, it's corn and millet. You want to keep your training sessions around 3 to 5 minutes. For Fairy, some days that looks like she can do 2 requests. Some days she goes up to 4, and I always try to end on a note. You never want to train a bird that seems frightened or stressed. And you want your bird to choose to participate. As she's gotten more comfortable on the tea stand, her training sessions have been a little bit longer. The goal is not perfection, it's confidence. And a really good book that can give you some outlines on how to train and what to train. I mean, I think this book has been around since the 90s, but it's really a good book. And don't quote me on that. It's a really good book. And I've learned a lot from it, and it's kind of helped me set kind of like a little bit of a goal of what I want to work with Fairy. So I want to show you guys actual training sessions. And so some of the video clips that you'll see are, a month ago, a couple weeks ago, and I'm gonna talk over what I'm doing in each of the sequences. We're gonna go through the tea stand, we're gonna go through step up, and we're gonna go through teaching your bird to spin. And I found these to just be like fun little starting tricks with Fairy, and to get her to see how she learns, see what her learning process is. I am not a professional bird trainer. Choose you. They have to choose to partner with you. And that's really one of the most beautiful things I think about birds and your partnership with birds. So I hope you enjoy this little training episode of the Linnie Lady. We'll do some more. We'll start going through more advanced tricks and tips, and you can learn along with Fairy and I as we do these. I also want to make a note about inspiring your bird, because they are very treat motivated. So you need to have already found your bird's favorite treat. You need to not, like it with Fairy, it's her millet. She likes to have millet in the morning. So the days that I know that I'm going to do a training session, I try to do them a little bit early, and I don't give her the millet freely. She gets it when we have training so that she stays inspired. Another thing you want to consider is rest. You don't want to work with your bird if your bird had a bad night's sleep or you forgot to cover them and they might be a little agitated. Your bird needs to have covered sleep for 10 to 12 hours. So if your bird is well rested and a little bit hungry, that will be a benefit to you and your bird for a happy training session. I want to talk about timing for a minute. So as you're teaching your bird to step up, if your bird thinks about lifting its foot up, or you can tilt them a little on your hand to start to step up, I want you to reward the bird's idea. That's the link. It doesn't have to be the 100% end result answer. What you want to do is inspire your bird to continue, and as you're telling your bird, yes, that's the right idea, yes, reward, will get the idea much faster. You can clicker train your bird. My little Parrotlet Jewel, she has started clicker training a couple of years ago, and she's not really too fond of it, but reward training and positive reinforcement training can be just as credible as clicker training. When you give your bird the reward, you want it to be within a second of the correct behavior. So that's a part that you have to train yourself as a human, is the timing. Your goal with your bird is not just to teach it tricks, although that is a very fun thing to do, and it's really entertaining for other people to, learn the capacity of what a bird can learn. It can open a lot of doors for people who may be afraid of birds or have not had experience with birds. And so your goal is not to simply teach tricks. Your goal is to learn and understand your bird and build communication and relationship. So without further ado, I'm going to show you some of real training footages that will have my mistakes or my timing errors, because I'm a human, and we'll also show you, fairy success and things that are up to now. Are you laughing? This is her new thing. She laughs. Step up. Good girl. Yes, a good girl. Step up.
Training is a personalized experience. Your bird must allow you to touch it and be hand-tamed before you begin. Let your bird decide how long it wants its training session to go. Here you see Fairy has enough and decides to leave the session early. To teach the step up, present your finger or a perch and say step up once. Wait a few seconds. Be on your bird's level and speak to it with enthusiasm. Reward looking towards your hand, shifting your weight, lifting one foot, touching your finger, or stepping up completely. Those tiny improvements become big behaviors. Let your bird's personality come out and stay eye to eye with your bird. You can see here that I never force my finger into Fairy's chest. You can adjust their weight and then present your finger. Treats on the tea stand show your bird that it is a happy place for training. The best part of training is that you can train at any time, whether you're in your pajamas or not even feeling that well. Here I introduce the lure to Fairy, where I lure her around with a treat to introduce the spin. I combine the voice command for spin, and I ask her to turn by luring her with the treat until she understands. This is how any directional training or target training begins, is by installing the lure.
Spin all the way around. Spin. Good girl. Good girl.
Talk to your bird during training sessions. Make it a fun experience. Maintain enthusiasm, smile, and be down. After the lure, you want to introduce a small hand signal. So here I start the lure of the millet and moving my finger around, and I give her a little assist so she remembers what we're doing and what I want her to do. So this was
the funniest thing's happening now.
She's
spinning
introducing the
for the
finger
treat.
wag for the spin, and here is the end result. Remember, progress, not action. Thank you for joining me on the Linnie Lady, and we'll see you next week for Fairy Friday.